hello to Mira of Save Victorville. How's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. It is another video from your older than average YouTuber here on the YouTubes, and it is that time of month, 1st of October. Spooky season has begun. I'm excited. So we're doing our monthly collab with Makeup Therapy, my IRL name twin, and if you want to see the look that we create, the palettes we're using, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. Can you believe it? October 1st. It has been a month since I've seen y'all. It's been a lot going on. So the palettes that we're going to be using today, so we can just kind of get the pleasantries out of the way, and then we can do some chatting and some makeup. All right, so we're going to have 2 palettes as per usual because Manuela and I are going through our collection. We're using what we have, and because we both have a lot of makeup, we're doing kind of 2 at a time. We're trying to kind of match things up and seeing how things work. I wanted to do kind of a Halloween fall theme. She's probably more into the fall theme, and I'm not that great of actually doing Halloween looks, so we're just going to do inspired by fall, inspired by Halloween, and I think these 2 palettes will do that. So first off, we've got the Artitude Cosmetics Abscission palette, and it is this one here. We're just going to start with what they are, and then we'll look inside. And the second one, this is one that was quite popular a few years back. So this is the Wilderness palette from Beauty Bay. I think around this time is when their quality started getting way better. I originally had problems with a few of my earlier palettes that I found with the shimmers. Their mattes have always been amazing, but with the shimmers, I always had to tap them down, and they've been seeming to getting better. So working backwards, this is the color story for the Wilderness palette. It is beautiful. Both Manuela and I, aka Makeup Therapy, love greens. Greens are up there. I think my ultimate favorite eye look is actually yellow. It's my, if I don't know what to do, I'm going to slam some yellow on my eyeballs, but I do love yellow. Greens and oranges are actually my 3 favorite color stories. But so there's this one here. As you can see, I've actually, because like I was saying, that their shimmers have been getting better. So you can see I've got quite some dips into the shimmers. I haven't used this one in a hot minute, so I'm quite excited to play with this one again. So now, Artitude Cosmetics. I love them, but unfortunately, and their last couple palettes were so beautiful. But I think this is probably one of the latest ones I've got. So this is Abscission, and it is a beautiful, and I think will be the perfect combination because they are quite similar color stories, I want to say, but yet at the same time, some differences I think in how deep the shades are, and then. But I think they look well together. Now, the shimmers in these are always freaking amazing. So there has never been a problem with Artitude. But like I said, I've been really liking how Beauty Bay, the last one, I haven't bought a palette in at least a year, but the last one I bought, Botanicals, I think that was last year. Time is going fast. I've really noticed the increase in quality. But here we go. Like I said, they're quite similar, but yet different at the same time. We definitely got some different tones. Here we've got a few cooler tones. Here we've got a few warmer tones. And yeah, here there's a few more neutrally shades than here, I believe. But I think these are going to be an awesome mix. So we just have to decide what we're going to do. So, again, I like greens, but like the purples in here are so beautiful. And like these colors here, they're kind of almost like, I would say a duochrome, because yes, a duochrome or multichrome, because this one here goes green, but then sometimes when I look at it, it has a bit of a blue to it. And then this one is looking more of a turquoise, but it gets darker green to a blue shade. So I do like the swishes in here. I think it is so beautiful. So yeah, it's been a hot minute. I'm kind of one of the only people in my department right now. We're in the midst of hiring, so work has been very busy. Unfortunately, Missy has been very sick. She's on the mend, thank goodness. She had stopped eating, so whack of vet bills later. So it's just been a lot going on. I unfortunately had a friend pass away, which I'm very sad about. Dan, you were the best. So it's been a lot. So we haven't been really filming, but I always love doing my collabs, so we are definitely in the mood excited to do this today. Alrighty, and then we've got my is it Rising Star Cosmetics mirror, and we've got this, and we've got some primer, and we're ready to go. So we are still, well, I think we're getting there. We're still working on the P. Louise Rumor 2. I always use such a little bit of eye primer that I think that's why these things take a while for me to use. But my Kaleidos Beauty is calling to me. But like I said, I try to only have one regular kind of primer open at a time, and then use way more. The color ones, I might have more different ones open, but from the regular ones, I usually just try to use one at a time. But because I use pretty much so little, that they seem to last a long time. So this, of course, is going up on the 1st, which is a Wednesday. I will have on Friday, I will have my quarterly catch up. So we'll have our empties, we'll have any purchase that I made, because remember, I'm on quite the low buy and no buy. More of a no buy, but we have some rules that we are doing. And some favorites that I've been using. I've been really enjoying going through my collection, like doing this collab and using palettes that I haven't been using a lot. So I've been re-upping my love for P. Louise, the Beauty Moon Wilma palette, Wilma Fingerdew palette has been one that I've been using a crap ton. So there's been some that I really like, and then there's been a few other ones where I'm just like, oh, what should I use? I just open a drawer and pull out some randoms and finding some favorites. So we are primed and ready. Let's go. So alrighty, so let's try and pick out some colors. So again, we're going to try doing those purples, trying to do a very fall, very I want to say Halloween, but there's more greens than there are oranges. So, and then for me, Halloween, green and orange go together. If I remember, I went out last night for dinner and I did a really nice orange and green look. So if I have a good photo of it, I'll pop it up in here somewhere. So if I don't remember where, that we're at about 7 minutes of filming, that'll be somewhere, somewhere there. So if all of a sudden you see a random photo pickup, it's me. Alrighty, so there's this, and then we've got our wilderness. So, and they've got some beautiful shimmery things in here too. Alrighty, okay, brain is starting to work. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay a bit of a base down. So I'm gonna use a neutral out of here to kind of set my primer. And then I think for the outer edge, we're gonna do black or green. I do love their blacks, but I think I'm gonna take the green out of there. So we're gonna have one out of each colors to start, and then we can go from there. So we're gonna go with the shade that's called New Beginnings. That is this shade here. And then we're just gonna use that to just set our eye primer here. I've just been grabbing some brushes that I've been using the last little while because I'm just a little bit too lazy to wash brushes. I will have to break down and do them today. But anyway, so here we are. We're going to go with New Beginnings. So it is just this nice beigey shade here. And then we're just going to use this to kind of set this a little bit on the top here. Give a little bit of set. See, even this shade goes on so nice. I do love their mattes. And then I'm just going to pat that on lightly with what's left on my brush to just set the primer so that it's not too sticky. I do like the P. Louise one a lot. It doesn't get too sticky, but sometimes it can be a little wet if I put it on a little bit too much. So sometimes I do like to set it. All right, so that was a New Beginnings. So now for the darkest green shade, we're going to go into the Wilderness palette. I do love the Beauty Bay mattes, and we're going to go into, and of course I can't read this one because I did green on black here, Forest. So we're going to go and use the shade Forest, and we're going to, is that Forest that we're going to use, or are we going to, no, actually, we're going to use Ivy. Screw that. We're doing Ivy. I think that's the one I meant to do. It's kind of looking at Forest, but we're going to do Ivy here. Then we're going to do that on the outer edge too. I want to do a winged look today. You know what? I haven't done a nice winged out look in absolutely forever. So I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush, and that's what we're going to do. Let's do a more winged out look. And then I'm just going to make sure to tap out the extra because I did do my base today. Some of the things that I'm using on as my base are going to be in my favorites portion of the video on Friday. So if you want to see what I've been using to get this glowy face, it is going to be on there. So I've got a few newer things, and then some things I've just been loving for forever. And yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm just going to gently lay out kind of where I want, how high I want to do it. So do I want to do a little bit higher? Yeah, let's go crazy. Yes, let's do it right to the outer of my brow bone there, or my eyebrow. So we're going to, I was going to say I'm not going anywhere today, so I could go kind of crazy, but I'm going to go to Walmart later. Oh, birds are crazy. I'm actually going to get 2 more birds just for a visit. We're already chaos around here with these two. Whenever the one is eating, the other one's got to yell. I don't know what is with that. I think I might have mentioned that before, but they be crazy. And they've got a new habit of jiggling their water bowl to splash water all over the ground. What's that all about? No idea. That's been a new thing. My friend actually rescued a budgie, and she's gotten her budgie to talk. I've had budgies most of my life, and I've never gotten one to talk. I've got them to copy whistles, but never to talk. So I'm very excited to go visit Banana at some point to listen to Banana chat. I knew getting a second budgie that because usually when budgies, if you have one, it's way easier to get them to talk, to interact with you because you're kind of like their partner. But when you put 2 together, you're just the seed pusher. So, but I love how much in love they are, and when they snuggle at night and groom each other. I just love that Willow is so happy that I got this Pearl. So I'm not going to complain that they don't want to actually talk to me. They do whistle back and forth with me and stuff. And then when I did move cages, I could get Miss Pearl on my finger, but I just love that they're so happy together. And you know, when it comes to birds, I'm kind of, like I said, I grew up with budgies, but I'm really weird about it because I think birds should be in a wild, but budgies are not from here and they would not survive out in the winter here in all that rain. They wouldn't survive. So because I rescued them, somebody else rescued, I adopted, but you know, we're taking care of them. I want to give them the best life that they had. And the fact that Willow was, after what she had gone through, being almost 2 years in an SPCA, then getting adopted and having a partner, having their partner die, and then just being ignored in a big cage because owners get busy. You know, she kind of went through a lot, and then she went to my friend's house for a couple days, and then to my house. So you know, that can be a lot for a little birdie. So I'm just really happy that having Miss Pearl around makes her really happy. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm not too concerned that I'm not having a chatty budgie. We are fine. We can survive. But anyways, I'm getting 2 love. I think they're both lovebirds. I think I'm getting her 2 lovebirds, and then her she has a Senegal, which will be going to somebody else. So it's going to be very interesting to see how my budgies react to them. Because I know when she sent videos of them and I play it, they get all excited. So we'll see what they're going to be like having birds for a visit. These ones do like to be out of their cage. One is named Pika, and I named her because she looks like Pikachu. And I can't remember the other one that I'm getting. If I remember, I'll pop up her name there. But they're both beautiful birds. They're both chatty. So we're going to see how they react. And since my cat is 20 years old, still hasn't figured out that I got budgies, like I said to my friend, I said, as long as I don't let you crawl on the floor near my cat, because she's still 4 or 5 pounds of crazy, she will eat your birds. But she's like, no, they like to stay up. So I said, then we should be just fine. I mean, not like that I wouldn't watch it or whatever, right? But there we go. So we've got our green laid out. I think I fluffed this one a little bit higher, so I might go and blend this up just a little bit more. All right, now we're looking like a bit of a bandito. I'm going to bring a little bit more over here. Oh yeah, like I said, I've always liked Beauty Bay's mats, and you can see that they blend really nice here. They go on with a great amount of color. That's me having to tap off a little bit, so I'm trying not to get any fallout here. I'm trying to remember if I've gotten a lot of fallout with Beauty Bay. I don't think I've had, but like I said, I've always tried to be a little bit cognizant of that. But, there we go. So there we've got Ivy down packed. And then, like I said, we used the lighter shade out of Abscission. So now we're going to go to our next shade. So we are doing orange up front. Oh, so we do have, I'm not going to do the front yet, but we do have a sunrise here, which I think will be the one that we're going to use. And then I think in here, yes, we don't have an orange, but I have a nice silver that I could maybe tap on top, or maybe for the shimmer from this palette, I could use the one here that's called Fossil. That seems to have a little bit of orange in it. So I might do these two for up front, but for the end, we're gonna need another green. And I think, because I find that this one is a little bit too pale, we're gonna go with one out of Abscission here, and then we're gonna go into the shade called Leaves. So I think we're going to do that one there as our next shade. And I'm just going to clean off this brush here because I quite really like these Cosmic Beauty brushes. So I'm going to go in, we're going to go into Leaves. And same thing, this is a little kick up in the pan, so we are going to just lightly tap off on our finger, just our hand, just to make sure that we're not dropping any color on our face if possible. I think that's the perfect shade to go with this. Just a little bit lighter, but you get a little bit of the transition there. And we can always add more, take away more by blending. So since I'm getting a little bit more ivy, I'm going to do the bottom lash line as well. And we're going to start with that darker shade. So again, that is ivy out of there. And then I haven't quite figured out what I want to do for my inner eye. Okay, so let's go back into ivy a little bit. I want to quickly, I just felt like here it looks perfect, but right here, maybe it's lighting. I just felt like I needed just to pop a teeny bit more there. Okay, so now we're going to go along the bottom. I'm going to use a little firmer of a black brush. This is a Dubious Place one, and we're going to go into there. And we're going to start with the bottom here. I think we're going to keep the whole bottom lash line greens. But to add another green, I'm going to go into, so we're going to go into Forest. And then we're going to do that as the front shade. So that way we can get another shade in here. There we go. Not too much different, but I thought I'd stick to the green on the bottom. So are y'all Halloween fans? I've been trying to not buy too much, but I've been putting my $1 store had some really great stuff for a few bucks. So I have bought a few more things to put on my kitchen table. I bought a couple pillows that were inexpensive just to add that pop into my house. I love Halloween. I seem to buy a little bit every year, but again, I'm trying not to be too crazy and not buy anything that's too obviously like Halloween things. I like stuff that if I wanted to, I could just leave it as fall, or even some things like my over my fireplace is a little bit Halloween all year round. So, but it is my favorite time of year. Okay, so now we're gonna go a little brighter. So we're gonna go into the orangey shade in here, and again, that one was called Sunrise. So we're gonna go into Sunrise, and we're gonna do that up front there. Yeah, so it's this nice orange. Maybe I should tap lightly on my hand. There we go. Look at how the mattes in this palette perform. Oh yeah, that's a great orange. Still feel like I might want to run some colors along the top, so I might do that still as well. It's just nice. Yeah, I like that they seem to go well together. Like this shade of orange, it's just not too bright. I do like that it's a little bit dull, but not in a bad way. Like it, maybe super matte, maybe might be a better word. Okay, I'm gonna take a look back into Abscission and see if there is something that I want to add along the top. I definitely think that using the shade Renew would be nice for along the top there to brighten my brow bone. Yeah, I'm going to start with that while my brain is ruminating. So I'm going to take a little bit of There we go. Yeah. So we're going to go into renew. Because it's not quite a bright white. It's almost like bone color, I want to say. There we go. Yeah, I think that brightens it up just a little bit. Alrighty. Oh, I just like this. Maybe I should have went with the burgundy purple. Wonder. Okay. If I wreck it, I wreck it now. Ooh, no, actually, I'm going to go into this shade called Fall, and I'm just going to kind of do it along the edge there. Just try and sneak in a bit of another color. Pippin. That's the other bird. Getting Pikachu and Pippin. There we go. I think so Pika is, who likes to go Pika Pika, is very yellow. Looks like Pikachu. And Pippin is blue. Yeah, I think I like adding that, just a little bit of extra color there. I'm just going to play with blending for a little bit there. All right, there we go. I think I'm happy with that. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty, so let's play with a little bit of shimmer. So we were going to, with Wilderness, we are going to play with the shade, again, that is called Fossil. So we're going to do that up front, I think, and then on the green, we're going to go into here, and then we're going to use the one that is Transition. So then we're going to go in with Transition there. So let's start with the green first. Another flat brush. No, we'll use this one. All right, so we're going to go into Transition. Oh, these are such beautiful, silky, smooth. Look at how beautiful that is. Wow. Fortitude does such a beautiful shimmers. Just so, even with the brush, you can just feel how smooth and creamy they are. Like, you don't need a finger to add extra drama. It's just drama from the get. Ooh, I'm almost tempted to use that on top of a little extra red, make this a real glimmery eye, and then add a little of the shade Abscission on top. Ooh, that could be really pretty. Because, I mean, you can never have too much shimmer, can you? Can you? Really? All right, actually, let's take a little bit of Abscission. And then I'm going to Art Mats, just bases to put beautiful shimmers on. Or as the girls that I used to hang out with a lot more online, shim shims. Pretty. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm trying to give both palettes a fair shot, and they're both doing amazing. All right, so again, we're going to go into the shade Fossil. If I can put stuff down, so which is that shade there. So we're going to do that up front. And these ones are actually also nice and putty-like. Smooth. Oh yeah, that's doing its thing. Alrighty, it doesn't even need any spray. Okay, Manuela, you picked the right pairing this month. This is really great. I like this. I mean, I like all our pairings, but this one is pretty fantastic. Great, right? Okay, so then for one more shimmer, of course, we need something in the inner eye. We're going to run back into Abscission here, and then we'll quickly chat about the shades we used before we finish off our last little bit. So I think for the inner corner, we are going to use Daylight. So that's that one there. So I'm going to go and get my pointy brush here so we can get it nice into the... There we go, right away, it's got the power. Yeah, look at that. Pretty. Alrighty, there we go. I think that is looking good. I did bring some eyeliner with me, but let's quickly go over the shades we use. So from the Artitude Abscission palette, we use the shade Renew on the brow bone. We use New Beginnings to kind of set our primer. We use the shade Leaves as the middle green shade. For the shimmer, we used Transition. And then For the top, we used a little bit of fall, topped with Abscission. And then for the inner corner, we used Daylight. So we got a few shades out of there. And then from the Wilderness palette, we use the shade Ivy for our darkest shade. And then we used Sunrise for our orange. And then we use Fossil for our shimmer. And then for that little bit of extra color on the bottom, oh, did I use another green? Where did I use? Hang on. Did I use another green over here? Oh yes, and then we had used, no, that was in the center. I thought we had used another green along the bottom. Maybe it was that shade there. I can't remember now. But anyways, there we go. So I think we got a good chunk of colors on there. So I did bring 2 different eyeliners. I brought a black eyeliner if I wanted to add a little bit to my lash line. And then I've got this one from Sephora. It's a kind of like army-ish green shade. And I usually quite like that in the waterline, and I think that will go good with this look. There we go. Awesome. And then we'll just to our lash line, because we do have it winged out. I don't think we need liner per se. I think just a little bit along the lash line, because again, it seems to make it look like I have a little bit more lashes when I have a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to be just using a brown mascara. So I've got this one from e.l.f. here that I got off of Amazon. It's been hard to find in drugstores here, a brown mascara, which I've been wanting. So somebody had recommended trying Amazon, and sure enough, I guess that's where all the brands. There's another one that I haven't tested yet. It'll be part of my things that I bought. So if you want to, again, watch Friday's video, you can see the other one that I will be testing shortly. Again, I try not to have too many mascaras on at the same time. I feel like the brush. I don't think this brush so far has made me poke myself in the eyeball, so that's always a win. All right, and then for lips, we're gonna break out an Old Treasure. For my look when I went out last night, I was like, oh, I think I want something orange. So we've got some, is it Pumpkin Sunrise? Pumpkin Kiss from Fenty Beauty. This was the thing a few years ago. I remember buying for me and then for a friend. I think I might have a backup somewhere. But I thought I saw this. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Did we already use one? And this is the backup. Can't remember. Anyways, so I just remember how many people were obsessed with this, and it was always sold out at Sephora. I think I bought it directly from Fenty. It is a few years old. Still smells good, still works good, so we're good. All right, so we got there. You know what would be really nice on top of that? Maybe a little bit of shimmer. So let's take that shade, should we take that shade Fossil? Let's pop a little Fossil on top and see how that will do. There we go, that's fun. So there we go. This is our look with the Beauty Bay Wilderness and Artitude Cosmetics Obsession palette. My Halloween-y fall inspired. I was thinking this morning, I really wish I had some like leaf stencils or something, or little pumpkin stencils. I would have probably added some stencils or something, but it's fall inspired. It's a green, it's orange with a little touch of, what do you call it, like a burgundy. I think this is pretty cute. It is very shiny, and like I said, I haven't done a winged out look in a while. No fallout. I think we've done good. I'm really excited to see what Manuela does. Hopefully we've got some different colors going, and yeah, I'm really excited. And of course, I'll always remember to share her post as well, but do check her out. And I think that will be us for today. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment, and maybe even hit that notification bell if you want to see more from me. I know I'm an infrequent poster, but I'm trying also not to wear out my welcome. So anyways, that's it from me today. As always, behave, make good choices, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.